Hello, this lesson is delivered in 3 parts. Firstly, how the Schwa functions as a tool of evolution by making agglutination possible. Secondly, we explore the origin and comparative psychology of the Schwa sound. And thirdly, we finish with some insight into the possible origin and morphology of the genius of language, with perhaps as much substantial evidence as there ever will be. This is the Schwa. It's an international phonetic symbol that represents one phonetic sound, and the sound it represents is It's like the A in sofa, or the I in decimal. O, harmony. U, circus. Y, syringe. But we will not be using the symbol for spelling reform and to change the spelling of these words, but we'll be using the symbol as an agglutinator to create new words. Agglutination is the process of gluing, combining, or cementing words or parts of words, which are called morphemes, together to make new words. Hopefully the new words have a new and enhanced meaning, and if we're very lucky, the new words form an entirely new concept. All prefixing in language, suffixing, and compounding of words, like neighborhood and baseball, demonstrate agglutination. This is my favorite example as to how the Schwa works as an agglutinator. Using it, we will have fun together. Notice it is not just fun and together, but the component parts of fund and gather have been combined, agglutinated, to make fun together. And to show you how potent a tool it is as an agglutinator, adding to either end, we have a ton of fun together or fun together ring. And this also shows us how the Schwa is not only for English, since ton comes from French, meaning a big barrel. Fund is from fundus, Latin, meaning bottom. And only the gather part comes from English. Now on to the second component of this lesson, the origin of the Schwa sound. Why do they call it a Schwa and not just a? Well, in English, Schwa means indeterminate vowel sound. In German, Schwa, emptiness or absence. In Hebrew, Sawa means neutral. Ancient Syriac, equal. In modern Arabic, Sawa means same. So, when someone asks you if you much prefer this or that, and you say, or if someone asks you how much you like something, go like this with your hand. What sound will you make? You are not particular. Do you want to do this? Would you prefer to do that? You are undecided. What is Uncle Jerrold talking about? You are baffled. Forgive me. To illustrate how we get stuck on the Schwa sound, we'll look at this diagram. My theory is at the point of the human brain where language begins, when we are trying to speak a word but have yet to decide what word we will speak, the only sound we're capable of making is the Schwa sound. It's almost as if the electric impulse in our brains that fires the signal gets trapped here in the synaptic connection where language begins. I'll sum up and say that the comparative psychology of the Schwa sound, reflected in the words created to describe it, is uncertainty, resignation, suspension of judgment. Let's go back to the Arabic, sawa. Remember, it means same. And in Arabic, they say, sawa sawa, same same. Now, we've heard that phrase before, and that's because most languages have some similar concept. And when the concept is translated literally into English, we come up with same, same. That's called loan translation or a calc. Now let's look at the Italian, sarà sarà, and it means so it is, so it is. And che sarà sarà would mean so it is to be, so it is. And from that, they developed the popular expression che sarà sarà, meaning what will be, will be. You may have heard the popular song from the classic film of the same name. But soa soa, sarà sarà, che sarà sarà, it's all the same, same. We are moving on now to the third and final part of this lesson, where we will explore the likely origins of the genius of language and how we chose to evolve ourselves along with it. Let's look at this word from Old English, sua. The double U's were ligatured vowels then and pronounced oo, so it's sua. But can you guess what word in wide usage today this etymon morphed into? And aside, an etymon is an earlier form or root word of what the language has become. Almost every word has an earlier form. And etymon comes from the Greek etymos, meaning truth. This is also the root of etymology, and therefore etymons and etymology take us back to the truth. Well, can we guess what this Old English etymon, sua, has become? How about so? And we say so, same, same, sua, sua, sarà, sarà, che sarà, sarà. None of this is too much different. Now let's look at the Japanese. They say aso, aso. Aso is a minimal yes or an okay. It's just like are okay. It can mean either a yes, okay, or it can mean like a okay, it's not so bad. When we are listening to a friend talk and we will say uh-huh, 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 the Japanese will say aso, aso, aso. Okay, continue, I follow. You've reached no conclusion yet, so I've reached no conclusion yet. And here in Spanish, así is so, so. I'll say again that the comparative psychology of the sound is uncertainty, resignation, suspension of judgment. In the different ways we have evolved the sound into these descriptive, onomatopoeic words reflect the same general idea. And how did they say so in Latin? And in ancient Greek? And in modern Chinese? I see the connection. And what type of word is so? Yes, it's a conjunction. And conjunctions join, combine, connect words, phrases, clauses, sentences, and ideas. And the big four conjunctions are so, and, but, or. Does this way of speaking sound familiar at all to you? It is like this, so it could also be like that. It is like this, and it is also like that. It is either like this, or it could be like that. It could be this, but it is better like that. Let's look at the Venn diagram again. The conjunctions were an evolution from the schwa sound, and that they gave our thoughts the direction we felt they needed. When you say so, you are giving that electric impulse in the synaptic connections of your brain a head start, because you have clued it in that even though you are uncertain exactly what you will say next, you realize you are seeking a conclusion from what was just said. So, you are seeking a conclusion. And you are seeking an addition. Or you are seeking an alternate. But you are seeking a rebuttal. And this is why it is called a rebuttal. It was because making the sound was in our nature that we ever had the idea to evolve language beyond it. We were making the sound, and our ideas were going nowhere fast, locked in the neutral spot. So we evolved our communications. Conjunctions were a repurposing of the schwa sound. I'll say that again. Conjunctions were invented as a repurposing of the schwa sound. Conjunctions function as neutral spaces between parts of sentences, and therefore conjuncting the way we do and agglutinating using the schwa is the same process. Not much different. Joining, combining, connecting, sticking together parts to balance and enrich our thoughts. Only the schwa as an agglutinator gives us the tool needed to balance and enrich our words. The words are what need improvement. It is our inability to form true and meaningful words that has held us back since the beginning of time. Here's some evidence of what we try to do. Back to some Old English etymons. Huatsua, huersua, and huasua. In Old English meant whatso, whereso, and whoso. And these phrases were synonymous and became whatsoever, wheresoever, and whosoever. And now look what we have here. They began as separate words and became agglutinations using so. And therefore, they were agglutinations made using the word evolved from the schwa sound. They tried it. Their mistake, if I can call it that, was that after evolving the pure sound into a word, it had limited purpose. Through the evolution, they had limited its usefulness. The good news is they left us with whatever, wherever, whoever, and the rest of the words like that, when they eventually dropped the so. And this was our major error, if I may call it an error. Once we took a step beyond the schwa sound, what then did we do with it? We discarded it. We said that we had no more use for it. We said to other people that if you use it now, we'll call you stupid. We said if you say it in public speaking class, we'll mark you down and lower your grade. And when we want to insult someone's intelligence, we say, duh. How prideful was it of us to turn our back on something in our human nature that gave us a start in figuring out how our language was supposed to work. The most important tool of our civilization. My conclusion, therefore, is that where language and thought begin, there is uncertainty. An uncertainty that we must acknowledge to fix our language and ourselves. We need the spaces in between for language to work properly. The space between is essential. The same in music and the rests needed between the notes. In all endeavors, we will always begin from a point of uncertainty, understanding the schwa sound and how we should have always used it as an agglutinator of our words will profoundly evolve our language, our thought process, and ourselves. A, B, C, D, Schwa, E, F, G. It's already in my alphabet. Thank you for listening.